Alright guys, before we get started, I need you guys to be very honest with me. What do you guys think about the hair that I got going on here? I tried combing it down. It doesn't go down, but people say they like it. I'm giving you guys permission to not pull any punches. Let me know honestly what you think of this hair. Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Promchi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, one thing that you guys may know about me is that once you get me started talking about one of my favorite manga series, such as Gantz, Sanctuary, One Punch Man, any of the above, once I get started talking about it, I just have a hard time stopping. And when you have a whole YouTube channel basically dedicated to talking about all of your favorite manga series basically all the time, sometimes you feel like you just need a little bit of a break. Which is why today I'm going to be talking about some of the least favorite manga that I currently have in my manga collection. Now, I'm actually borrowing this video idea from HVL Manga. She did a video about this similar topic very recently, so I decided to give my take on it because I think it's a really interesting video concept. So of course, I'll link her video down in the description below. Check it out after this video. But before that, let's get into my personal least favorite manga in my manga collection. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you guys do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. But without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so starting things off with a pretty controversial pick. A lot of people absolutely love this manga, but I've said a couple times I think it's pretty overrated. That is, of course, Uzumaki by Junji Ito. Uzumaki, obviously a series that needs no introduction. One of Junji Ito's best series and the most critically acclaimed horror series of all time. And while I did enjoy what I read of Uzumaki, it didn't quite blow me away. I gotta give props where props are due. I mean, look at this artwork. It is absolutely beautiful, as well as some of the horror in this series. Just the body horror images are really well done. Now, I will say that there is one story in Uzumaki that really blew me away. That was the mosquito hospital one. If you guys have read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. That one was just so gross and creepy that it really elevated the series for me to that next level for that one chapter. But otherwise, I don't think that the story is really anything to write home about. The ending is pretty ass, if I'm being honest. None of the characters are really all that great, so most of the value in the series lies with the creepy art, and some of the story isn't too bad. But other than that, I don't think Uzumaki is anything amazing, highly overrated in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you guys share that similar opinion, but a lot of you guys are probably going to be upset by this take. Next up, we have a pretty obvious one that I'm sure a lot of you guys saw coming from the very beginning. That is, of course, A Girl on the Shore by Inio Asano. Now, I actually did a video completely dedicated to A Girl on the Shore, and in that video, I said I don't think the series is as repulsively bad as a lot of people say it is. While I do think that this manga is bad, I don't really think it's necessarily extremely disgusting or should be illegal to own like certain people think. It's just a really angsty, melodramatic Inio Asano manga about some boring ass characters that I really couldn't give two shits about. Really, the only reason I still have this in my manga collection is because I'm somewhat of a completionist when it comes to my favorite manga creators, Inio Asano being one of them. So I have this basically just to complete his English library, as well as maybe I'll give this another shot in the future. It's a pretty quick read, and a lot of people really love this, so maybe there's something I'm missing. But for the moment, I think A Girl on the Shore is pretty bad and definitely worthy of a place in this video of my least favorite manga in my entire collection. Speaking of which, this next manga that I'm going to be talking about is another manga by one of my favorite manga creators, Taiyo Matsumoto. While I have enjoyed every single manga that I've read by Taiyo Matsumoto, I just didn't really find myself connecting as much with Tekkan Kinkri, aka Black and White. The big thing that I really like about Tekkan Kinkri is the atmosphere and the world. One thing that is amazing about all of Matsumoto's manga is that he's very talented at creating these very immersive, hazy, and really surreal environments, even with his very unique art style. The world in every single Taiyo Matsumoto manga that I've read just feels so alive. Like if you were to go into it or just look at some of the buildings in the background, things could be going on. People be living in those buildings, working in those buildings. I mean, hell, some of the characters from Tekkan Kinkri even show up in other Matsumoto mangas such as Blue Spring. I mean, it's really interesting to see, and that's basically the only thing that I really loved about Tekkan Kinkri. As far as the characters go with Black and White, I didn't really find myself connecting with them too much. I just felt like there wasn't a whole lot there. Obviously, this is just my experience, and on a person-to-person basis, you may absolutely love these characters, connect with them a lot, but personally, I just didn't get too much out of them. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't really remember anything too specific about these stories, so it wasn't too memorable for me. Granted, it has been about a year since I read it, but for a manga series that I would really enjoy, I'd at least be able to remember some of the big plot points. So yeah, while I really do enjoy Taiyo Matsumoto's manga, Black and White is just a series that I didn't really connect with as much as I would have liked to, but then again, if I reread this, I may end up enjoying it, but for now, it's gonna be one of my least favorites in the collection. Next on the list, we have Voices of a Distant Star by Makoto Shinkai. Now, this is a very recent pickup for me, and I read it basically a day after I bought it, and let's just say it's not my favorite thing that I've ever read. I think that the premise of this story is really interesting. It's about these two teenagers who are in love, but one is like up in space for some school, I think, or something like that, and the other goes to a normal high school on Earth, and they text back and forth, but these text messages can take anywhere from months to eventually years as they get farther and farther apart. You know, their lives kind of move on without each other, and honestly, there's a lot here in concept, but just execution-wise, at least in this manga format, it wasn't really doing it for me. First off, I wasn't really a huge fan of the artwork. It's just a little bit basic, a little too basic for my liking. You know, there's not a whole lot in the backgrounds of certain shots, which is always a minus in my book. The characters are probably a few tiers up from Girl on the Shore level, but that being said, I still really don't care about them after the fact. I think that Voices of a Distant Star is a decent, quick read. I enjoyed it a good amount, but honestly, probably not anything I'll ever revisit. I'm actually trying to sell this at the moment, but nobody wants to buy off me. Honestly, this manga probably shouldn't even made the cut for this video, because if we're up to me, I wouldn't even own this anymore. And finally, the last manga series that I have to talk about today in this video. It's not my least favorite manga series that I own. It just happens to be last in chronological order of this video. One that I still enjoyed, but just not as much compared to other series in my collection. Without further ado, here we have Strain by Burnson with art by Ryuichi Igami. The two big reasons I own this in the first place is because this is a pretty rare out-of-print series that was put out in the Pulp line, which is a manga line that I was at one point pretty invested in collecting all of it, which I've since given up on. And two, in this manga, we have art by Ryuichi Ikegami, who's one of my favorite manga artists of all time. He's partnered up with Sho Fumimura from one of my favorites, Sanctuary, as well as a pretty lengthy partnership with Kazuo Koike, the manga behind Lone Wolf and Cub. They teamed up for series such as Crying Freeman and Wounded Man. Now, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed my read-through of Strain, surely because it is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, some of these characters are just off the wall insane. Some of the action sequences are really absurd. But as for the story itself, it's just really weird and uncomfortable. It's basically about this guy who will kill anyone for $5, but then it eventually devolves into like this romance with him and his like little sister or little cousin. I don't exactly remember the specific details, but it's pretty weird. Also, Burnson does this really annoying thing that got on my nerves a lot as I was reading it. It's like someone will have a gun pointed at the main character, and just at the last minute where he's about to shoot him, someone else hiding behind a tree or something will shoot the perpetrator through the head and save the day, like at the last moment. It's just so cliche and got really old really fast. But I mean, if you can look beyond that in the really weird incestual element of the story, then there's a lot to enjoy here, a really fun ride, but you know, not one of the greatest manga that I've ever read by any means. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it here for this video. Talk about my least favorite manga in my manga collection. I like basically all of these series, but you know, some series I just like more than others, and these just happen to be at the bottom of the totem pole. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below what is your personal least favorite manga that you currently own. I'm very curious to see what you guys own, what you're not really vibing with, and what do you think of my personal takes. And of course, if you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been the Prom G. Hopefully enjoy the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.